Welcome to Budget Beauty, where I help you look flawless for less. Welcome back, and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen and this is Budget Beauty. We do everything beauty on a budget, and that includes reviews, first impressions, and full makeup tutorials of brand new palettes. And today I am so excited about the newest palette release from BLENDBUNNY Cosmetics, and this is the Lure palette. Isn't this beautiful? Like lure you in, and also fishing lure. This is a mermaid inspired palette from BLENDBUNNY. You know BLENDBUNNY is one of my favorite indie brands. Their palettes are absolutely exceptional. They actually released this Lure palette here. I'll go ahead and pop the price here up on the screen. And they did release a 4-pan multi-chrome palette called Trove, which are all 4 multi-chromes at $68. I did not pick that up because the multi-chromes in the palette are ones I already have in my collection, but I will actually link both of the palettes down below for you. This is an absolutely beautiful color story. It screams ocean, sea, mermaid vibes, and I can't wait to put this on my eyes. So if you're excited, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not, because I upload lots and lots of new videos every single week, and I do review a lot of palettes here on my channel. In fact, I do have a full makeup tutorial playlist. I'll link that down below for you as well. I will link the BLENDBUNNY Lure and Trove palette down below for you with a discount code, as well as all of the other makeup that I'm wearing today, my favorite beauty subscription boxes, and don't forget, come follow me on TikTok for a little bit more beauty on a budget. I can't wait to put this on my eyes. The color story is amazing. BLENDBUNNY is amazing. Cannot wait. So let me go ahead and zoom you in and let's get started with the tutorial. So as always, the first thing I'm going to do is prime my eyes with my MAC Paint Pot and Painterly. I always use an eyeshadow primer. I feel like it just keeps my shadow on all day. I am heading to the gym to work out after this, so even more reason why I need this makeup to last all day. I like the MAC Paint Pot because it does help with discoloration on the eyes, and again, also just keeps your eyeshadow on all day long. It also kind of brings out the true color of the eyeshadow a little bit more, and just really helps with the overall longevity. So now that my eyes are primed, we are ready for shadow. So in typical BLENDBUNNY fashion, our top row are shimmers, and you saw in the swatches, the shimmers are pretty spectacular, and BLENDBUNNY nails the mattes every single time. Their mattes are buttery, blendable, buildable, not patchy. And in the swatches, they swatched beautifully as expected. So I just have to decide, do I want to go with greens, blues, pinks, purples, or a little bit of everything? And I'm kind of feeling like I want a more colorful look so that I can try out some of the different formulas in the palette. So that I can try out some of the different colors in the palette, everything from lighter to some of the deepest shades. So I'm going to start with this beautiful mint green shade here called Seafoam. I'm going to pick that up on a fluffy brush and use that as a transition shade. Wow, look at that pigmentation. Not at all surprised. Like I said, BLENDBUNNY makes some pretty amazing mattes. They're very, very pigmented, and like I said, very, very blendable. So that was one swipe in, and I'm getting so much color payoff, and this color is also absolutely beautiful. That is such a pretty transition shade. I love the Seafoam green. It's so vibrant and pigmented. So that was from the lighter row. There's your mid-tone row and your deep row. So I'm going to pick up a color from the mid-tone row to blend in the crease itself, just to deepen it up a little bit. And like I said, I want to use a few of the different colors in the palette. So I'm going to pick up this purple shade called Seductress, and we're going to focus that just on the crease, just again to add some depth. So pretty, so pigmented. Wow. Look at how beautiful that is. Purples are hard. I always say purples are really, really hard to formulate. They can be super, super patchy. And this one, of course, this one has no patchiness, and it is blending so beautifully. Makes perfect sense why the brand is BLENDBUNNY, because their shadows just blend like a dream. So stunning. So back into the shade Seafoam, I'm going to pick a little bit more and just give it another quick blend. So pretty. I really love that purple and that Seafoam green together. Now moving into this bottom row, which are your deepest, darkest shades, we've used a green, we've used a purple. So I wanna focus on more of a blue leaning shade to deepen up my outer corner. So I'm trying to decide if I wanna do 332 meters or the deep. This shade, the deep, is so pretty. It's kind of a blurple color. I kind of think I want to do that. So I'm going to go into the deep with a denser brush, and I'm going to focus that just on my outer corner. Oh my goodness. This shade is so beautiful. Wow. It's kind of a navy blurple, which is very unique. I don't have a color like that in my collection. I mean, I have navies, I have periwinkles, I have more of like a blurple, but you can see that this is a mix, like a navy blurple, which is not even a thing, but it's a thing now that Blend Bunny has made it a thing. This is so stunning. So stunning. And again, it's packing on and layering over those other two shades. Really pretty. I'm not having any patchiness. Oh my goodness. This shade, I seriously love this shade. This may be one of my favorite deepest, darkest shades in my entire eyeshadow palette collection. Look how pretty that is. Oh, so beautiful. Wow. With that same fluffy brush that had seafoam on it, I'm just going to, again, do that quick last little blend. I'm literally obsessed so far. I think this is so, so stunning. So I'm going to use my NYX glitter primer, glitter glue, and I'm going to apply a little bit of that to my lids before we do the shimmer. That just, again, helps everything stay in place. And what I like about glitter primer, glitter glue, is it really brings out the true sparkle and depth of shimmers, and again, just keeps them in place. The NYX is my favorite, super affordable. I'll make sure that I link this for you as well. So we have 6 shimmers to choose from. As always, I want to apply one of the shimmers with my finger. I want to apply one of the shimmers with my brush. I want to see how they apply. I always like to make sure that my shimmers are workable in any way that you like to put on your makeup, whether it's using a finger or a brush. So I do want to start with my finger, and I think, oh, it's such a hard decision. I know I want to use this pearl shade. This is like a duochrome shade. I want to use that in my inner corner. So I think for the outer portion where I put this beautiful color, the deep, I think I'm going to pick up this shade in the bottle, which is kind of a like baby blue. Oh, it's so pretty. And we're just going to apply that. Wow. Closest to that shade deep, in the deep, the dark in the corner there, the darkest shade. I want to try to use maybe 3 shimmers just so that we can really test out the shimmers in the palette. That is so beautiful. It's so sparkly and just wet looking. I'm not at all surprised how amazing these shimmers are. They swatched so perfectly. And then I want to place a shimmer right next to that. That's kind of focused more on the inner corner. And I definitely want to bring in the purple. So I'm going to go with the shade Charmed, which is kind of the purple pink shade in the palette. And we're going to pick that one up on a brush because I want to see, again, if these shimmers can be applied with a brush or a finger. You can see when I press that it puts an indent in the pan. So these are that very wet shimmer formula, which always gives you the most payoff when it comes to sparkle. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, that's so beautiful. It's such a pretty purple color. You can see that it has a little bit of a pinky kind of blue shift, so it pairs really nicely with this look. It's also picking up on a brush absolutely beautifully, so I'm just going to pull that and blend that in with the blue shimmer. You can also spray your brush, so once you pick up the shimmer, you can spray your brush with some setting spray or makeup mist, and that also helps kind of bring out the shimmer, but honestly, this doesn't even need it. Look how beautiful that is, and that is finger and brush, and they both picked up beautifully. And like I said, I have to use this shade Pearl as my inner corner. This shade is so beautiful. And again, picking that up on a brush. Wow, it's definitely more pink leaning. That is so pretty. This would be beautiful all over the lid too. It would definitely, you would definitely pick up a little bit more of the duochrome in that. Oh, that's such a pretty shade though. I'm gonna bring in some green. I'm going to go ahead and bring in some green because we haven't used any of the greens in the palette. So I'm going to use Mermaid Lagoon, which is kind of the mid-toned grass or Kelly green in the palette. And I'm just going to buff that on my lower lash line. Also a very beautiful shade, very, very pigmented. I said I hadn't used any of the greens, but we did. We used the seafoam in the transition, so I want to pull in a little bit more green, I should say. And then I'm going to buff that out with the shade Catch Me, which is the light blue in the palette. I'm going to just add that in with that green just to diffuse it out a little bit. And lastly, for the lower lash line, we're going to dip into the shade Folklore, which is this other blue shimmer shade. And oh my gosh, look how soft pressed that is. Can you see that? When I push my brush in, it just sinks into the pan. That's where you get this really sparkly shimmer payoff, which I love. I'm gonna pull that in on the inner corner of my lower lash line. Be really careful picking these shimmers up on a brush. They work really well, but they're very, very soft pressed. I love this. I think this is beautiful. Let me go ahead and put on some liner, some mascara. The lip color that I'm wearing is Glint. This is one of the new glosses from Unearthly Cosmetics. It has a little bit of a purple sparkle, so I'm gonna reapply that when we come back so you can see what that looks like, and that's really going to bring out the purple and tie in this whole mermaid vibe look. So here is the completed look. I went ahead and added liner, just black liquid liner, black mascara. This is so beautiful. I absolutely love it, and I can see it sparkle in the lights. It just makes me really happy. I definitely feel very mermaidy. I am going to apply a little bit more of the Glint lip gloss. This is the new lip gloss from Unearthly Cosmetics. I love their lip products. You guys know they're my favorite brand, right alongside Blend Bunny. Pretty sheer purpley colored lip gloss, just gives a wash of color. These are really nice, very nice formula. That will be linked down below with all of the other makeup, but I'm going to go ahead and zoom you out and let's go over my final thoughts on the Lure palette. I think by the tutorial you can tell I love this. The quality of this is the typical, absolutely amazing Blend Bunny. The mattes, buttery, smooth, buildable, blendable. The shimmers, out of this world. And I know some people didn't love previous Blend Bunny shimmers. If that was you, you've got to try these out. These are so beautiful. They're very sparkly. They're that wet formula. They look wet on the eye. Like I said, you do have to be a little careful picking them up with a brush. It can indent into the pan, which really isn't an issue. You just want to be a little mindful of that when you're picking them up with a brush. For me, with these really wet foiled shimmers, I prefer to apply them with my finger, but you apply your makeup however works for you. I just know that you can do it. You can apply these with both the finger and a brush, and I love this. I can see myself reaching for this palette a lot. I love that there's more neutral shades here. If you wanted to create a little bit more neutral look, you could literally stick with this column right here. You could go monochromatic, vertical in the rose. You could do a beautiful mermaid colorful look like this. I mean, there's so many options with this palette. This is one that I feel is very versatile. It would be a great travel palette because you have every color, including neutrals, that you would ever want. I love this. I absolutely love it. I'm so happy that I picked it up. And again, I will link this palette as well as the Trove 4-pan multi-chrome palette down below if you'd like to add some stunning multi-chromes to your collection. But again, Blend Bunny Cosmetics, one of my favorite independent brands for good reason. The eye look speaks for itself. So if you enjoyed today's video, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed and your bell's on because I upload lots and lots of new videos every single week. All of the Blend Bunny information will be in the description box, along with my favorite beauty boxes, all of the other makeup that I'm wearing in today's video, and come follow me on TikTok for a little bit more beauty on a budget. All of my mermaid living vibes are coming true with the Blend Bunny Lure palette.